Okay, hey, what's up YouTube? It's your girl Jae. Stopping in quickly to do this bow tutorial that you guys have asked for. Yes, I will do requests if you have something you want me to do. Message me, comment, talk to me, whatever it is, and depending on how many people ask for the same thing, then that's how they will get priority, or who asked first. So what I'm going to do today is the bow tutorial, and how I'm going to teach you is in the form of a template, a paper template. You can use this method for any material you want, because bows can be made out of virtually anything. I've worn newspaper bows, magazine bows, so regular paper bows, fabric bows, jean bows, lace bows. It doesn't really matter as long as it's some kind of material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I made this paper bow. And it's basically the same thing as my jean bow, just that this is paper, so there's no stitching involved. And so here we go. I started with this regular sheet of paper. Don't know what size it is. Regular sheet of paper. And I got a blue marker and a purple highlighter, and I just scribbled all over it, and that was just because I didn't want it to be boring and just dull white paper. So I did that. I scribbled. It didn't really matter to me how I scribbled. I just scribbled. And then I took this here ruler and I tore it in half. You can cut it in half if you like. So you end up with a rectangle. Make sure you end up with a rectangular piece of fabric or paper. And the next step deals with the raw edge, so don't worry about it. What you want to do is you want to fold that raw edge in. You want to fold the edges in, and you want to go either clockwise or counterclockwise instead of going parallel sides. I like that because they kind of lock the edges. When you're using fabric for doing this step, you can use an iron to hold your folds down, but when you're doing paper, you just kind of run your finger over the seam and it stays, pretty much. So it doesn't matter how big or how small you do this fold over, just like it doesn't matter how big or small you use of rectangular paper or material. The only thing that really matters is the fact that it's rectangular. So all the edges are folded in and you get this. Still a rectangle, slightly smaller, but a rectangle nonetheless. Then what you want to do is you want to take the two vertical sides and you want to fold them in to meet each other, corner for corner. And what that's going to do is that's going to leave you with a smaller rectangle. People who are using fabric, once again, ironing is good for this. So you have this, and for people with fabric, usually you will have to stitch these sides closed. So it depends on whether you want to use, it doesn't matter, you use a sewing machine or you use a hand stitch. You can use embroidery techniques, applique techniques. It really doesn't matter. It's all up to you how you want this stitched. After you've stitched it closed, or for those of you who are doing paper, after you've folded it, you fold it again, but you do it like you're doing a fan. You accordion fold it. So you fold, you take the top edge. I like to take the edge that is not stitched for those of us who have paper, not fastened together. You fold it down one way, you turn it over, and you fold it the other way. Accordion, just like you're making a fan. For this stage, for those of you who are using fabric, I do not suggest ironing this because you do not want these sharp seams and lines in your bow. When you're finished, you should end up with something that looks like this. Kind of like a fan. But we're not going to fasten it at the end as usual. For those of you who are using fabric, once again, I'm going to talk to you guys. You hold the middle, and you have the option of stitching it shut, or wrapping a rubber band around it, or yeah, I think that's basically all you can really do with this. Yeah, stitch it shut or wrap a rubber band around it. You can do both, but I usually just wrap a rubber band around it. One, because I'm really lazy, And 2, because I like the way the rubber band will hold on to the bobby pin that we have to use to get it in our hair or on your neck if you feel. So for those of us with paper now, we could take our time and go through and glue all of these together. We could use a rubber band as well, but I think that after a while that wears on the paper. Or we can just use Miss Senior staple machine and staple it shut. So you go to the middle and you just staple it shut. Once it's stapled shut, you fan out the edges and not much of a bow, right? So what you do is you fiddle with it and you kind of push it forward. This is the back. You kind of push it forward so it gets that kind of like, almost like a bra. And there it is. There you have it. After this, what I like to do is get like a strip of the same material or maybe different material or like a different color or different paper, whatever it is, or the same, it doesn't matter. I like to get a piece of that strip. It doesn't have to be this long. It could just be a strip. And wrap it around the center. I really don't know if you can see this, guys. But you wrap it around the center, and this can be fastened by taping it down or gluing it down or stapling it down. It all depends on really how long you really want your bow to last. I mean, tape won't last long in hair because of all the grease and moisturizers and all kind of stuff we use in our hair that will wear on the adhesive and the tape. So we've done that. Our bow has a center, and then you take your bobby pin, your clip, and you kind of push that through the back. This is also not a friend of the papers, and you have to try and avoid the staple that's in there. This one's proving to be difficult because I think I did it too. Okay, there we go. I just have to bend this the other way. Yeah, so this is Senior bow, and that's your hair clip, and then you just take your hair clip and slide it into your hair and fasten it, and there you have a bow. Alright, so it's the same thing with fabric. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you've learned something, and I hope you'll go and you'll make your bows and you'll be adventurous. Be adventurous with your bows. Make them bigger, make them smaller, make them with anything you want to make them out of. So, bow, same thing. Easier, longer lasting. It's really up to you. It's really up to what you really feel like putting in your hair. So I just want to ask you guys to enjoy having fun doing this tutorial. Make a million bows if you want to. It's really easy and it's really short. It doesn't take up a lot of time. So thank you guys for watching me. Love, peace, and stripes, and I'll see you here at the end of the week.